kind of a weird moment in the first fight of the night. I wanted to get your take on this. Max Rohskopf was saying, hey, telling his corner, hey, call it, I'm done. His corner didn't. He ultimately kind of had to call it himself. Bob Bennett has said that he'll look into it. Did you see that whole scenario unfold? Did you have any thoughts on what happened there?
So apparently his manager has been terrorizing Sean Shelby that this guy is the guy. This guy's the future of the sport. And finally Sean said, okay, I'll bring him in. I got a last-minute replacement, and brought him in. And that was his performance tonight.
Do you feel like it's okay for a fighter to essentially tap out in between rounds?
100%. Listen, if you're, man, let me tell you what. In this sport, if you're done, you're done. You should absolutely be able to quit. You know? I know that it's frowned upon, but guess what? Anybody that would talk about you quitting isn't in there fighting. You know? It's real easy to be a critic. What these kids do is a whole nother level, man. I don't, you know, as the guy who runs this organization, as the guy who is involved in the matchmaking and everything else, you know, you see these kids. We deal with managers from all over the world. They're like, oh, this guy's the guy, this guy's the guy. And you get this, when you get here, this is a whole different level, man. And that guy's not ready, and he might not ever be ready. And some of us, and I've told you guys this many times before. I believed one day, you know, back in the day that I was a fighter and I wanted to do this and that, and one day I found out that I wasn't. The realization was that I wasn't. And when you find out, you need to walk away, and you need to. I'm not saying that's the case with this kid, but if that kid felt like he needed to quit tonight, who the is anybody to judge him on that? He had the balls to come here and fight and take a short notice fight in the UFC.
Do you feel like when you look at him, so, you know, obviously a lot of people think it looks bad. Do you see that as a guy that could turn it around? I mean, or do you think that's such a mental blow to somebody that it's hard to come back and win a fight after having done that on national television?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, but he, you know, he's got to get up tomorrow morning and look at himself in the mirror and figure out who he is and what he wants to do. There is no shame in getting here and finding out that you're not it.